Hello, everyone. Welcome to the first episode of InspireNow, where we explore the timeless lessons hidden within the stories of wise monks. Today, we're delving into a powerful theme, letting go. This story will take us to a peaceful monastery high in the mountains, where a young monk learns an unforgettable lesson. So sit back, relax, and let's begin our journey. Once upon a time, in a serene monastery nestled in the mountains, there lived a young monk named Kavi. He was diligent, always striving to learn and grow, but he carried a heavy burden. Kavi was haunted by past mistakes and regrets, unable to forgive himself for things he couldn't change. His mind was a constant whirlwind of what-ifs and if-onlys. One day, as he sat by the river that flowed through the monastery grounds, his mentor, an old monk named Shri, approached him. Shri could see the turmoil in Kavi's eyes and decided it was time for a lesson. Shri sat down next to Kavi and began to share a story from his own past. Many years ago, he said, a fellow monk and I were traveling to a nearby village. Along the way, we came to a river with a strong current. There, we saw a young woman who needed to cross but was afraid of the water. Kavi listened intently as Shri continued. Without hesitation, my companion offered to carry her across. She accepted, and he lifted her onto his shoulders, carrying her safely to the other side. We continued our journey in silence until nightfall. Finally, I could no longer contain my thoughts and asked, "How could you carry that woman?" "We are monks. We are not supposed to touch women." My companion simply smiled and replied, "I put her down hours ago. Why are you still carrying her?" Shri's story resonated deeply with Kavi. He realized that, like the monk in the story, he had been carrying the weight of his past for far too long. The lesson was clear. It was time to let go. Shri then placed a small stone in Kavi's hand and said, "Imagine this stone is your burden. Hold on to it tightly." Kavi clenched the stone, feeling its weight. After a few minutes, Shri asked him to open his hand and let the stone fall into the river. As Kavi did so, he felt an immediate sense of relief. From that day forward, Kavi practiced the art of letting go. He learned to forgive himself for his past mistakes and to focus on the present moment. It wasn't always easy, but whenever he felt the weight of his burdens returning, he would return to the river and let a stone fall, reminding himself of the lessons Shri had taught him. Kavi discovered that by letting go of his past, he could embrace the present more fully. He became more at peace with himself, and his spirit lightened. The monastery seemed even more serene, and the path ahead clearer than ever before. So, dear friends, what can we take from Kavi's story? The act of letting go is not about forgetting our past, but freeing ourselves from its hold. It's about understanding that holding on to regrets and mistakes only weighs us down and prevents us from moving forward. Next time you find yourself burdened by the past, remember Kavi and the simple act of letting go. Whether it's a stone in the river or a deep breath, find your own way to release what no longer serves you. Thank you for joining me on this episode of Inspire Now. If Kavi's story touched your heart, share it with someone who might need to hear it. Until next time, may you find peace and clarity on your journey. Let go and embrace the present. Please don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe the channel. See you next time. Hello, welcome back to Inspire Now, where we share the stories that resonate with the ups and downs of our daily lives. Today's episode addresses a feeling many of us have experienced at some point. I have no true friends. Why? If you've ever felt lonely or wondered why genuine friendships seem so elusive, this story is for you. So sit back, relax, and let's dive in. Meet Sarah. She's in her early 30s, living in a bustling city with a job she loves and hobbies that keep her busy. On the surface, everything seems great, but there's one thing missing: true friends. Despite having a large social circle, Sarah often feels lonely. She attends parties, brunches, and networking events, but deep down, she feels a disconnect. She starts to wonder, why don't I have any true friends? One Saturday afternoon, Sarah found herself in a cozy cafe, scrolling through her social media feed. Everyone seemed to have these close-knit groups of friends, people they could count on for anything. She felt a pang of sadness and decided to talk about it with her therapist, Dr. Miller, during her next session. In her therapy session, Sarah poured her heart out. I don't understand why I don't have true friends. I'm friendly, outgoing, and I make an effort to stay in touch with people. But when it comes to having someone I can really open up to, I feel like I have no one. Dr. Miller listened intently and then asked, Sarah, what does a true friend mean to you? Sarah thought for a moment and replied, someone who understands me, accepts me for who I am, and is there for me through thick and thin. Dr. Miller nodded and said, that's a beautiful definition. Now, think about your interactions. Are you being your authentic self with others? Are you allowing yourself to be vulnerable? Sarah reflected on this. She realized that while she was always friendly and polite, she rarely let her guard down. She often tried to be what she thought others wanted her to be, rather than showing her true self. Fear of rejection and judgment kept her from opening up. Dr. Miller continued, true friendships are built on authenticity and vulnerability. It's not just about being there for others, but also allowing them to be there for you. It's about sharing your fears, your dreams, and your true self. This hit Sarah hard. She had been so focused on being liked and accepted that she hadn't given people the chance to know the real her. Determined to change, Sarah decided to take a different approach. The next weekend, she invited a few acquaintances over for a casual dinner. Instead of trying to impress them with a perfect evening, she let her guard down. She talked about her passions, her struggles, and her insecurities. To her surprise, her guests responded with warmth and openness. One of them, a woman named Emily, shared that she had been feeling the same way. They bonded over their shared experiences, and Sarah felt a genuine connection forming. Over the next few months, Sarah continued to practice authenticity and vulnerability. She reached out to people she felt a connection with and made an effort to deepen those relationships. It wasn't always easy, and there were times when she felt exposed and uncertain, but slowly she started to build true friendships. So, what can we learn from Sarah's story? The journey to finding true friends often starts with being true to yourself. It's about letting go of the fear of judgment and allowing yourself to be vulnerable. True friendships aren't about how many people you know, but about the depth of connection you share with them. Thanks for joining us on InspireNow. If Sarah's story resonated with you, share it with someone who might need to hear it. And remember, the journey to true friendship starts with a single, genuine step. Until next time, keep being you and keep your heart open. Please don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe the channel. See you next time. Hello, welcome back to InspireNow, where we dive into the real, raw, and relatable moments of life. This time, we're exploring a question that I'm sure has crossed all our minds at some point. Is it okay if I compare my life to someone else's? Let me tell you a story about a woman named Jenna. Jenna was a talented graphic designer living in the bustling city of Metropolis. She had a good job, a cozy apartment, and a group of supportive friends. But like many of us, Jenna found herself scrolling through social media, comparing her life to the seemingly perfect lives of others. One day, Jenna saw a post from an old college friend, Lisa. Lisa had just landed a high-profile job at a top design firm, bought a new house, and seemed to be living the dream. As Jenna scrolled through Lisa's pictures, a pang of envy hit her. She started questioning her own achievements, wondering why she wasn't as successful or happy. The next day at work, Jenna's boss noticed she seemed distracted. "Everything okay, Jenna?" he asked. Jenna sighed. I just can't help but feel like I'm falling behind. I saw a post from an old friend, and her life looks so perfect compared to mine." Her boss smiled kindly. "Jenna, let me tell you something. When I was your age, I did the same thing. I compared my life to others and felt inadequate. But then I realized that everyone's journey is different. You can't see the struggles behind the scenes of those perfect pictures." Curious and needing a break from her thoughts, Jenna decided to visit her favorite cafe after work. There, she ran into Mr. Thompson, the friendly owner who always had a piece of wisdom to share. Jenna told him about her feelings of inadequacy. Mr. Thompson nodded thoughtfully. "You know, Jenna, comparing your life to others is like comparing apples to oranges. Each one is unique and valuable in its own way. You have your own path, your own timeline, and your own successes. What you see online is just a highlight reel, not the full story." He paused, then added, "Remember that time you helped organize the community art show? That was a huge success and brought joy to so many people. Or the way you redesigned the cafe's logo. It's brought in more customers than ever. Those are your achievements, and they matter." Jenna smiled, feeling a bit lighter. She realized that while Lisa's life looked amazing, it didn't diminish her own accomplishments. Each person's journey is filled with ups and downs, and comparing only distracted her from appreciating her own. From that day on, Jenna made a conscious effort to focus on her own growth and achievements. She still enjoyed social media, but with a new perspective, appreciating others' successes without letting them overshadow her own. So listeners, if you find yourself comparing your life to someone else's, remember Jenna's story. Celebrate your own journey and achievements. Your path is uniquely yours, and it's just as valuable and important as anyone else's. Until next time, keep your eyes on your own journey, celebrate your milestones, and dare to appreciate your own story. Hello, welcome to another episode of Inspire Now, where we dive deep into life's big questions and everyday moments. And today we're exploring one of the most profound questions of all. What is the meaning of life? Let me share a story about a man named David. David was a middle-aged accountant living in the suburbs. He had a stable job, a lovely family, and a comfortable home. Yet, despite all this, he often felt an emptiness he couldn't quite explain. He kept asking himself, is this all there is to life? One sunny Saturday, David decided to take a break from his routine. He packed a lunch, grabbed his old hiking boots, and drove to a nearby nature reserve. He hadn't been hiking in years, and something about the open trail called to him. As David walked along the path, he met an elderly man sitting on a bench, gazing at the view. The man, introducing himself as Samuel, seemed content, almost radiating peace. Intrigued, David sat down next to him. "Enjoying the hike?" Samuel asked with a warm smile. "Yes, it's nice to get away from the usual grind," David replied. "I've been feeling a bit lost lately, trying to figure out what the meaning of life is." Samuel chuckled softly. "That's a big question, isn't it? I've spent many years pondering it myself. You see, when I was younger, I thought the meaning of life was about achieving success, gaining wealth, and earning respect. But the older I got, the more I realized that those things, while important, aren't the whole picture." Curious, David leaned in. "So, what did you discover?" Samuel looked thoughtful for a moment. "The meaning of life, I believe, is found in the small, everyday moments and in the connections we make. It's about love, kindness, and making a positive impact on those around us. It's about finding joy in the simple things and being present in each moment." David nodded, absorbing Samuel's words. "But how do you find meaning in the mundane?" Samuel smiled again. "By shifting your perspective. Look at your daily life through a lens of gratitude and purpose. Appreciate the time you spend with your family, the effort you put into your work, and the kindness you show to strangers. Each of these moments contributes to a life filled with meaning." David left the nature reserve feeling lighter. inspired by Samuel's wisdom. He began to notice the beauty in his everyday life, the laughter of his children, the support of his wife, the satisfaction of a job well done, and even the brief exchanges with neighbors and colleagues. Over time, David's outlook transformed. He no longer saw life as a series of tasks to complete, but as a tapestry woven from meaningful moments. He volunteered at a local shelter, spent quality time with his loved ones, and made an effort to be kind and present in every interaction. And so, dear listeners, if you're ever feeling lost or questioning the meaning of life, remember David's story. Life's meaning isn't hidden in grand achievements or distant dreams. It's right here, in the love you share, the kindness you spread, and the joy you find in everyday moments. Until next time, keep your hearts open, cherish the small moments, and dare to find meaning in your daily life. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe the channel. See you. And hello, welcome back to Inspire Now, where we explore the beautiful, sometimes messy, always meaningful stories from our everyday lives. Today's episode is all about true love. We often think of true love as something out of fairy tales, but today's story proves that it's very real and can be found in the most unexpected places. So, get comfy and let's dive in. Meet Liam and Emma. They lived in the same city, but their paths never crossed until one fateful evening. It was a rainy Friday, and both had just experienced particularly tough days. Liam's boss had been on his case all day, and Emma had just received some bad news from a friend. Seeking solace, they both ended up at the same small coffee shop, one of those cozy, tucked-away places that feels like a warm hug on a cold day. As fate would have it, there was only one seat left in the cafe, right next to each other. With a polite nod and a soft smile, they shared the table. They started with small talk about the weather and the city, but soon they found themselves diving deep into conversations about life, dreams, and the challenges they were facing. What struck them both was the ease with which they could talk to each other. Liam felt a sense of calm he hadn't experienced in a long time, and Emma felt understood in a way she hadn't before. As the rain poured outside, they lost track of time, sharing stories and laughs until the cafe was about to close. Before parting ways, they exchanged phone numbers. There was no grand gesture or dramatic moment, just a simple, genuine desire to stay in touch. They both felt a spark, but more importantly, a deep connection that seemed to transcend the typical first meeting scenario. Over the next few months, Liam and Emma's connection grew. They didn't rush into anything. Instead, they took the time to truly get to know each other. They went on long walks in the park, cooked meals together, and supported each other through their personal challenges. What made their relationship special was the way they communicated. They listened to each other, truly listened, and made each other feel valued and respected. Liam helped Emma through her tough times, offering a shoulder to cry on and words of encouragement. Emma, in turn, brought joy and lightness to Liam's life, helping him see the beauty in everyday moments. Of course, no love story is without its tests. Liam got a job offer in another city, a fantastic opportunity that he couldn't pass up. It was a moment of truth for both of them. They had to decide whether their bond was strong enough to withstand the distance. After many heartfelt conversations, they decided to give it a try. They committed to making their relationship work despite the miles between them. They visited each other as often as they could and made use of technology to stay connected. It wasn't easy, but their love grew even stronger. So what can we learn from Liam and Emma's story? True love isn't about grand gestures or perfect moments. It's about connection, understanding, and commitment. It's about being there for each other through the good times and the bad, and growing together as individuals and as a couple. True love is real, and it's often found in the most unexpected places. It's in the small coffee shop conversations, the shared struggles, and the unwavering support. Liam and Emma's story reminds us that true love is about finding someone who sees you for who you really are and loves you anyway. Today, we're tackling a question that's as old as time itself. Is having problems bad? Now, I know what you might be thinking. Problems are the last thing anyone wants, right? Well, stick around, because I've got a story for you that might just change your perspective. Let's rewind to a sunny Saturday morning not too long ago. Meet Jenna, an ambitious young professional in her late 20s. She had her life all mapped out, a promising career, a great circle of friends, and she was about to move into her dream apartment. Everything was going perfectly, until it wasn't. On the day she was supposed to move, Jenna's car broke down. Not just a flat tire, we're talking full-on engine failure. She was stranded on the side of the road, miles away from her new place, and her meticulously planned day was falling apart. She was frustrated, stressed, and on the brink of tears. Now, here's where things get interesting. While waiting for the tow truck, Jenna decided to take a walk to clear her head. She stumbled upon a quaint little cafe she'd never noticed before. Feeling defeated, she decided to go in and get a cup of coffee. Little did she know, this cafe was about to change her life. Inside, she met an older woman named Mary. They struck up a conversation, and Jenna found herself opening up about her terrible day. Mary listened patiently and shared some wisdom. She talked about how life's detours often lead us to places we never knew we needed to go. Jenna and Mary kept talking, and Jenna learned that Mary was an artist who hosted weekly workshops at the cafe. Mary invited Jenna to join one. Despite her initial hesitation, after all, she wasn't an artist, Jenna decided to give it a try. That workshop became Jenna's sanctuary. She discovered a love for painting she never knew she had. What started as a terrible day with a broken-down car turned into a journey of self-discovery and creativity. Jenna began attending the workshops regularly, making new friends, and finding joy in this unexpected hobby. Jenna's car breaking down seemed like a disaster, but it was the catalyst for something beautiful. She learned that problems aren't just obstacles, they're opportunities in disguise. They force us to pause, reassess, and often lead us to new paths we never would have considered. In her case, the problem opened a door to a new passion and a community that enriched her life. Jenna's story is a testament to the idea that problems, while challenging in the moment, can push us toward growth and unexpected joys. So is having problems bad? Jenna's story suggests otherwise. Problems are a part of life, but they're also a part of our journey. They teach us resilience, creativity, and sometimes they even lead us to discover new passions. Next time you're faced with a problem, take a deep breath and remember Jenna's story. You never know, that problem might just be the beginning of something amazing. Thanks for joining us on Inspire Now. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to subscribe and share it with someone who might need a little inspiration today. Until next time, keep embracing the journey, problems and all. In the lively city of Brookville, there lived a young man named Alex. Alex was known for his vibrant personality and love for spontaneous adventures. Whether it was a weekend road trip, a last-minute party, or an impulsive shopping spree, Alex was always ready for immediate fun. However, Alex also had a dream. He wanted to start his own business, a cozy cafe that would be a haven for coffee lovers and a hub for community events. This dream required time, effort, and financial discipline, things that often clashed with his spontaneous lifestyle. One Friday evening, Alex's friends invited him to a big party. It promised to be a night full of laughter, music, and memories. Just as he was about to head out, he received a call from his mentor, Mr. Carter. "Hey, Alex," Mr. Carter said, "I've found a fantastic workshop on entrepreneurship happening this weekend. It's a great opportunity to learn about starting and managing your own business. I think it could be really beneficial for you." Alex's excitement for the party began to waver. He knew the workshop could provide valuable insights for his cafe dream, but the allure of immediate fun was strong. Torn between the two choices, Alex decided to sit down and weigh his options. He thought about the party, how much fun he would have, the friends he would see, and the immediate joy it would bring. But then he envisioned his cafe, a place buzzing with happy customers, the smell of freshly brewed coffee in the air, and the sense of accomplishment he would feel. He realized that while the party offered immediate gratification, the workshop could bring him closer to his long-term goal. Taking a deep breath, Alex called his friends. "Hey guys, I'm going to skip the party tonight. There's a workshop this weekend that I really need to attend. I'll catch up with you all soon." His friends were supportive, understanding his decision. The next morning, Alex attended the workshop. It was insightful and inspiring, providing him with practical knowledge and sparking new ideas for his business. He met fellow aspiring entrepreneurs, networked with industry professionals, and even found a potential investor interested in his cafe concept. Over the following months, Alex continued to balance his spontaneous spirit with his longer-term goals. He still enjoyed fun moments with friends, but became more selective, ensuring his choices aligned with his dream. The discipline paid off, and a year later, Alex opened his cafe. It quickly became a popular spot in Brookville, known for its warm atmosphere and delicious coffee. Alex's journey taught him that while immediate fun is important, aligning your actions with your long-term purpose brings deeper satisfaction and lasting fulfillment. He found that the moments of sacrifice were worth the reward of achieving his dream. So if you ever find yourself torn between immediate fun and a longer purpose, think of Alex. Remember that while instant gratification is tempting, investing in your dreams brings a deeper, more enduring joy. Balance is key, and sometimes choosing the path that leads to your long-term goals can be the most rewarding adventure of all. Until next time, keep your dreams alive, choose wisely, and dare to pursue your purpose. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Inspire Now, where we explore the little tweaks that make life a lot better. This time, we're diving into a question that's on everyone's mind. How can I bring more balance into my life? Let me share a story about a guy named Tom. Tom was your typical go-getter, living in the fast-paced city of Metropolis. He worked as a project manager at a high-powered tech company, and his days were packed with meetings, deadlines, and endless to-do lists. Tom loved his job, but often found himself overwhelmed and exhausted. He knew he needed more balance, but he just didn't know where to start. One Saturday, Tom decided to take a break from his usual routine and visit a local farmer's market. As he wandered through the stalls, he came across a booth run by an elderly man named Mr. Jenkins, who was selling homemade honey. Mr. Jenkins had a calm and joyful demeanor that immediately caught Tom's attention. "Looks like you've got a lot on your mind," Mr. Jenkins said with a warm smile as Tom sampled some honey. Tom sighed. "Yeah, you could say that. I'm always busy with work and never seem to have time for anything else. How do you stay so relaxed?" Mr. Jenkins chuckled. "Well, young man, it's all about balance. Life is like tending to a beehive. If you focus only on one thing, you miss out on the sweetness of everything else." Intrigued, Tom asked, "What do you mean?" Mr. Jenkins explained, "You see, bees work hard, but they also know when to rest and enjoy the flowers. To find balance, you need to prioritize and make time for different aspects of your life: work, rest, play, and connections with others. Tom decided to give it a try. That evening, he sat down and made a list of the things that mattered most to him. Alongside work, he included spending time with family and friends, pursuing his hobbies, and taking care of his health. The next week, Tom implemented small changes. He started waking up a bit earlier to enjoy a quiet cup of coffee and read a book, giving him a peaceful start to his day. He set boundaries at work, ensuring he left the office on time to have dinner with his family. On weekends, he explored new hobbies like hiking and painting, activities that rejuvenated his spirit. Tom also scheduled regular catch-ups with his friends, realizing that these moments of connection were essential for his well-being. Slowly but surely, he began to feel more balanced and fulfilled. One day, while taking a walk in the park, Tom ran into Mr. Jenkins again. "Hey, Mr. Jenkins, you were right. Finding balance has made a huge difference in my life," Tom said with a big smile. Mr. Jenkins nodded. "That's wonderful to hear, Tom. Remember, balance isn't a destination, it's a journey. Keep tending to your beehive, and you'll continue to find that sweet spot." So, if you're feeling overwhelmed and out of balance, take a leaf out of Tom's book. Identify what's important to you and make time for those things. Small changes can lead to big improvements. Balance is all about giving yourself permission to enjoy different aspects of life. Until next time, keep your beehive balanced, enjoy the sweetness, and dare to live a well-rounded life. Please don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe the channel. See you next time.